In recent weeks, President Biden and other Democrats have been sounding the alarm on the potential dangers posed by a second Trump term by dropping the name Project 2025. 2 weeks ago, the Biden campaign even launched a website that outlines how the conservative plan would allegedly reshape the United States. But former President Trump says he knows, quote, nothing about Project 2025, and he's accusing Democrats of having a field day in trying to hook him to the policies it encompasses. CBS News campaign reporter Jake Rosen joins us now. So, Jake, what exactly is Project 2025 and what is it not?
So Project 2025 is a Heritage Foundation, which is a conservative think tank. It's their transition plan for the next conservative president, whoever that may be. Now, obviously, this was launched in 2023 before the primary cycle played out. So this could have hypothetically applied to a Ron DeSantis or Vivek Ramaswamy or Nikki Haley. Now, in terms of Donald Trump, which is so why this is advantageous for Democrats, is that the plans laid out in this handbook, 900 pages, which is what the Democrats have kind of seized on, but it also calls on kind of a LinkedIn-style training session and recruitment for young conservatives in D.C. to come in and help kind of break up the bureaucracy, as they call it. It's also a 180-day plan for the first conservative president. So when you kind of think about what it is, it's a suggestion for the next president. But if you're Donald Trump, you probably don't want this kind of outside group kind of seizing influence over what the branding of your next term would be.
So to be clear, it is not a Trump campaign platform.
Correct. And the Trump campaign has tried to distance themselves repeatedly. Trump campaign co-chairs Chris LaCivita and Susie Wiles put a statement out when Project 2025 first kind of got in the news earlier this year, saying that they appreciate the efforts, but that, frankly, Trump will decide himself. And we saw a couple Truth Social posts in the last week by Donald Trump denouncing this group and saying he doesn't know whoever's running it and knows no one behind it. Now, obviously, that's not true, though. There are plenty of people, former higher-level White House staffers across all branches of government who wrote chapters in this book. They are definitely Trump-aligned people. But again, this is a think tank trying to propose something. And this goes all the way back to the Reagan administration in terms of the booklet that they give a conservative president when they win office, kind of a set of guidelines.
900 pages is a lot.
Yeah.
But talk to us about some of the more controversial elements that Democrats are really trying to highlight.
Well, the biggest two are something that Trump is for, which is these mass deportations, hard line on immigration. That aligns very closely with what the Project 2025 is suggesting they do, basically dismantling of DHS. It also calls for banning of mifepristone, the abortion pill drug, which Trump has said he does not support. And that's the kind of line that the Trump campaign is trying to draw. It also talks about banning trans people from the military, which is something that Trump did and Joe Biden undid. And it also calls for overhauling the tax system in America, which some conservatives would certainly be for. A conservative think tank obviously would suggest overhauling the tax system. But again, this is not the Trump official platform. This is just one conservative group. And the Trump campaign has tried to kind of forge this on their own terms by putting out an Agenda 47 on their website, which is Trump, in his own words, giving speeches to a camera about what he wants to do. And they've also outlined new changes in their Republican National Committee platform that came out earlier this week about what they want to do on things like abortion, the economy, immigration.
So there is overlap, to be
For sure,
fair.
there absolutely is. Yeah.
Okay, and when Trump says he knows nothing about it, how true is that?
Well, I don't believe that Trump has any actual influence over, how the day-to-day operations go in the Heritage Foundation. But the Heritage Foundation's president said earlier this week on a podcast that there's a lot of overlap and that they are hoping to implement this. Another former Trump staffer and very close Trump confidant in the first term of Trump's administration, he said that they hope to implement this when transition plans really come to fruition after the RNC this week, and that there will be overlap. So Democrats are calling attention to that no matter what the Trump campaign says, these are people that worked in the Trump White House. These are people that are probably angling maybe for another job. But it's a really easy way for Democrats to kind of brand what Trump is going forward, just like Trump has tried to do and did in 2016 with the Green New Deal or the new, and things like that, where he, stamps a label on it. Green New Scam is what he's been calling it lately. And while that's kind of a meaningless term because it never passed, it still carries a significance with the base. And right now what they're doing, Democrats across the board, DNC, Biden campaign, influencers online, they're all trying to brand on, for voters who are maybe not informed about what Trump carries in this next term, the policies that he does and lay it out with this Project 2025 branding, which is pretty hard to shake for the Trump campaign. It's definitely sticking.
Well, thank you for clearing it up for our voters and viewers, Jake Rosen. Thanks.